Hey y'all, Wyatt here. Today I wanted to briefly talk to you about what a buyer and a seller market is. Knowing what they are and what market we're in can help you if you're looking to buy or sell a house, or if you are a realtor, it can help you if you're trying to help buy or sell a house for your client. Firstly, I want to make a very brief analogy to it. Imagine you are going to the store and you want to buy apples there. And let's say there are a bunch of apples there, like 500-ish. 500 apples, and each of them costs about $1. On the other hand, if you're trying to look for bananas and there's only 5 or so bananas, those bananas are a lot more expensive. You might recognize this as supply and supply and demand goes into buyer and seller markets as well. The apples represent a buyer's market where there is a lot more supply than there is demand, but the seller market represents the bananas where there is a lot more demand than there is supply. So yeah, it's pretty much just like supply and demand, but many intricacies with housing, including inflation, interest rates, credit, various other things can also help affect the market. Given this fact, what kind of market are we in right now? The housing market has been in a bit of a trouble since COVID. There have been rising interest rates, inflation, and various other ripple effects that have come from the lockdown. Houses, at least in my area, have been on the market for about 60 days on average. With that in mind, what kind of market are we in right now? Well, that can be a little tricky because it isn't quite as easy as apples and bananas. A good indicator for this can be considering housing prices compared to inflation. The median price of homes in the US are still rising, even combating against the rising inflation in the country, which does point signs towards a seller's market. Sellers have been returning to the market ever since the COVID lockdown. In addition, buyers are also coming back. Buyers have been trying not to buy any houses in this time due to the high interest rate, but given that it's been a few years, the buyers are starting to come back even if interest rates are still higher than they were before COVID. With this in mind, why do we get into buyer and seller markets? Sometimes the flow is just inconsistent. There are periods and cycles where there are a lot more houses in the market than there are buyers, and sometimes there's just a lot more demand than there is supply. Looking at the markets right now, I don't think we'll be in a buyer's market for quite some time. We are still in a recovery period from COVID, in particular for the housing market. And while there is a light in the tunnel, it will take us quite a while to get there, such as when the Fed considered lowering interest rates this year, but eventually is probably going to decide against it. But yeah, it will just take some time. The housing market will probably recover over the period of a few years, kind of like what it did back in '08. And in any case, if y'all have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them as quick as I can. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all next time.